Okay, 11 students already present. So, students, so previous social science history class I have told you about the Mongol invasion and how did the Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Alauddin Khilji they try to prevent all these things with their different administrative measures. Now, today we are going to discuss about what are the differences, okay, what were the differences present in the administration and as well as the military expedition of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Alauddin Khilji to prevent the Mongol invasion and other foreign attacks. Okay, Mallika, after a long time, okay, I am fine. How are you? Okay, sir. So 6. Okay. In page number 41. Page number 41. So in this way, first we make two columns. First one for Alauddin Khilji or Alauddin Khalji, and the other one it is for Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So I am writing in short Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Tughlaq or Tughlaq. So what are the measures taken by these two rulers, Delhi Sultan, to prevent the Mongol invasion? First one, Alauddin Khilji, in the time of Alauddin Khalji, Mongols were attacked Delhi twice, once in 1299 to 1300, okay, and another one from 1302 to 1303 AD. Twice attacked by Mongols. Okay, Delhi attacked by Mongols in this years, and to prevent the Mongol invasion, he established to prevent the Mongol invasion as a defensive measure, Alauddin Khilji raised a huge standing army. Okay. To prevent that, he raised a huge army. Okay. So, this is point number 1. Now, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. What Muhammad bin Tughlaq did to prevent the Mongol invasion? So, in the first decade means 10 years. Okay. Decade means 10 years. So, in the first decade of the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq sat on the throne 1124 AD. Okay. So, the first decade means 1324 to up to 1330. In this time period, Mongols invaded the Delhi Sultanate, but Muhammad bin Tughlaq's army was very much strong and he prevented the Mongol invasion with strong hands, and the Mongol army defeated by his army. So, Mongols were defeated by the bin Tughlaq's army. So, this is a great achievement to prevent the attack. Another thing is there, the Muhammad bin Tughlaq was confident about his strength of his army, and at the time the Transoxiana, I have already told you that Transoxiana is a stronghold of the Mughals. So, if I draw the map of India here, So, this is today's Pakistan, this region, this is today's Afghanistan, and this is Iran also there here. So, this is Transoxiana, this region, okay. This is China, this region, this is called Transoxiana, this is Delhi, okay. So, this Transoxiana, so he planned to attack Transoxiana. Why? Because he planned that if we attack the Mongols place, then Mongols will afraid, then the risk of Mongol attack will be reduced, would be reduced if we attacked them, their places. So, this is the idea of Bin Tughlaq, and because of this he raised a huge army, a huge standing army for few years, okay. So, this is the difference. So, plan 2 next, and with this he planned to attack Transoxiana. Okay. So, Transoxiana. So, this is the difference between the Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Alauddin Khilji, the first point. Now, point number 2. What is the difference in their administrative and military measures? That Alauddin Khilji built a fort called Siri, you already know, to prevent the Mongol attack, and managed a huge standing army in the Siri fort. On the other hand, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he emptied the city called Delhi-i-Kuna. You know that Delhi-Kuna is a very old city. It was one of the cities that out of the 7 cities situated in Delhi. Okay. So, he emptied the citizens of Delhi-Kuna and made it as a garrison town, and all the people of Delhi-Kuna sent to Daulatabad. Daulatabad is a city in South India, and it was previously the kingdom capital of Yadava kingdom. And when Alauddin Khilji defeated the Yadava kingdom, he captured the Daulatabad, and the previous name is Devagiri. Okay. It is situated in today's Aurangabad district in Maharashtra. The beautiful Daulatabad fort, if you will go there, you can see the beautiful Daulatabad fort was there, and this is the previous name Devagiri, the capital of Yadava kingdom. And when Alauddin Khilji annexed and captured this, and what happened? He sent all the people of Delhi-Kuna to Daulatabad. So, and made Delhi-Kuna as a garrison town. You already know what is garrison town. Garrison town. Okay, so this is the difference between he made a new fort, but he not at first he not made any fort. Later he made Tughlaqabad also, but sent all the people to South India. And in the road, lot of people died, because the roads, the communication and transportation was not so advanced like today. So, dense forest, and they have to cross the Vindhya mountains. So, crossing mountains, dense forests, rivers, okay, the flooded rivers, it is very much risky for the people of Daulatabad. So, most of the people died between the road, okay, when they moved from one city to another city. So, this is the difference number 2. Now, the third difference, number 3. Number 3, that soldiers paid by states collecting 50% revenue. Soldiers paid by the state collecting 50% revenue from the peasants. As well as he control, okay, I will go come in the next point is, okay. So, he collected 50% tax, okay, and this 50% tax is used to feed the soldiers. Okay. On the other hand, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, what did Muhammad bin Tughlaq? He levied extra taxes from the people. Levied extra taxes from the people. So, famine occurred. Famine means the lack of food. So, famine occurred because of this, because he was not control the revenue demand and the revenue rates, and collected a huge amount of revenue, and tax levied extra taxes also collected to feed the soldiers that that he raised in Delhi Kuna garrison town. Okay. So, this is another wrong decision to levy extra taxes. Okay. First he collected land revenue and also imposed extra taxes, and it is very difficult for the people of his time to pay that much of revenue. Okay. So, it creates famine. So, lack of food, lot of people died without food, the food crops failure was there. In the time of crops failures also he collected the land revenue. So, this is the reason of his lack of administrative sense. Okay. Or so, in this way the difference, this is the another difference. So, you can understood easily that he 50% levied taxes and fed his soldiers, but he first collected a land revenue and again levied extra taxes from the peasants, and peasants were unable to pay that much of tax, and so famine occurred. So, this is number 3. Number 4, it is also very interesting that soldiers were paid in cash. Alauddin Khilji paid the soldiers in cash, paid the soldiers in cash. On the other hand, and also control the market price. He also controlled the market price, and the dishonest merchants, they were punished. Okay. So, they either imprisoned or they were sometimes the other strict punishments were there for the dishonest merchants who raised the market price. Okay. So, he controlled the market price with strict hand. So, his soldiers, they paid in cash, so they can purchase the goods and their necessary commodities from the market by cash. On the other hand, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, what did Muhammad bin Tughlaq? But he paid their soldiers in token currency. Paid his soldiers in token currency. What is token currency? You have to know. The token currency, like today's currency, it is on paper like currency, and sometimes made up with copper, but and other cheap metals. But what happened? He was not made it foolproof. So, that is why, and no royal seals, royal stamping was not there. Like in today's coin, our Ashok Stambh was present as a national symbol, but that time when he introduced the token currency, that type of symbols were not present. So, that is why, and the metals from from which they made this token currency were very much cheap. So, people were not willing to accept that kind of thing, merchants were not willing to accept, like today's small 1 rupee coin, some merchants were not, they agree to collect to take this type of coins. Okay. So, what happened when soldiers were paid in token currency to save the gold and silver, at that time all the coins are in either gold and silver. He okay, but he started introducing token currency to save the gold and silver. It is good idea, okay, no doubt, but without any measure to prevent the any fake currency. So, what happened? People started making fake currencies and fake currencies spread all over the market, and now nobody willing to take this kind of token currency. Okay. So, this total currency system declined, and again he introduced the gold and silver currency. So, this is the lack of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the lack of administrative sense. Okay. And so, this is the difference. Okay. So, number 5, the last one, the last difference between the two rulers, that number 5, Alauddin Khalji, praised by the chroniclers. You know that there are a lot of chroniclers at that time, and chroniclers praised Alauddin Khilji for his good administrative measures. So, chroniclers praised him, and he also for cheap market prices and efficient supplies of goods in different markets called mandi at that time. Okay. And he successfully withstood the threat of Mongol invasion also. On the other hand, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, criticized by the chroniclers, criticized by the authors for the planning of attacking Kashmir and Transoxiana. At that time, Kashmir also ruled by some other rulers, and he also raised a huge army on Delhi, Kuna and surrounding cities of Delhi to attack Kashmir and Transoxiana. But later he rejected his plan because of due to economic crisis in his sultanate. So, his administrative measures created complications, and the shifting of people from Daulatabad was rescinded. And what happened when economic crisis was there, he rejected the plan to make Daulatabad as a capital. Okay. So, again he called all the people to Delhi from Daulatabad. So, from South India, all the people from Daulatabad, again he came back and a lot of people died. Okay. Students, I have started, I think after a few minutes. So, I think no problem, you have no problem if I continue 2 more minutes. Okay. So, students, do you understand why he was criticized? Because failure of Kashmir and Transoxiana attack, as well as the transformation of capital. It is number 1 A, B. Okay. So, change the capital. So, these two things was going against the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and all the authors, all the Tawarik, all the authors of the Tawarik, okay, chroniclers, they criticized Muhammad bin Tughlaq because of these type of things. Lot of people died in his reign because of this, either in but he successfully prevented the Mongol invasion, it is his credit, but his decisions were good, but not implemented successfully. That is why lot of people died in his sultanate. Okay. So, these are the differences, and from these differences you can easily understood which one is the better ruler among them. Okay. Between them. Okay. So, another thing that in the list of Muhammad Tughlaq's failures, where sometimes forget that for the first time of the history of the Sultanate, Delhi Sultan planned a campaign to capture Mongol territory. It is very daring. Okay, if you think in other way, it is very much daring to capture any Mongol territory. Mongols came to capture all over the world and mostly Asia and Europe, but Muhammad bin Tughlaq so much daring to came and to plan an attack to Mongol territory. Okay, so unlike Alauddin defensive measures, Alauddin took a defensive measures. Muhammad Tughlaq's measures were conceived as a part of military offensive against the Mongols. Okay, so for this reason, Muhammad bin Tughlaq's memorable in the history, and this is the achievement of bin Tughlaq. Okay. Sir, what is this? Who is this? Just put the mouse pointer on the message. Deep, what happened? It is not math class. What happened, Deep? What happened? Okay. So I think you have understood. That's all from today's class. Next day we will discuss a small portion, that is the Sultanate in 15th and 16th centuries and question answers. So that's all from today's class. See you in next day. Thank you.